The Handley Judges taking care of business in the first round of the Region 4D playoffs, defeating Liberty 48-0. Liberty tried to trick Handley early in the game with an onside kick that they recovered, but Handley standing tall on defense, not allowing a single point the entire game. Towards the end of the first half, Liberty tried driving to score a touchdown, but yet again, Handley's defense coming up strong with a sack to run out the clock at the end of the first half. Duncan Hensler was able to spread the ball out. Will Yoder with one receiving touchdown. Christian Dinges with 2 touchdowns. And on the ground, Jamir Washington with numerous carries. A wild card here. Special teams, Gavin Williams with a long punt return to set up one of those Jamir Washington touchdowns. In the very next punt, Gavin Williams took 57 yards to the house. All around, the Handley Judges executed what they needed to do. It was not perfect, but a playoff win indeed here in front of the home crowd at the Handley Bowl. Next week, they are right back here facing off against Jefferson Forest. So coming up on the postgame show, you'll hear from offensive lineman Carson Green. You'll also hear from Gavin Williams and the head coach of the John Handley Judges, Jake Smith, as the Judges are victorious in the first round of the playoffs. Postgame coverage to come on the Kirby on Sports podcast. The John Handley Judges secure a first-round playoff victory over the Liberty Eagles. Gavin Williams joining me. It's not often that I've spoke to members of the team and special teams was a big impact, but you made it a big impact today. Off the 2 punt returns, just walk me through in your eyes what holes you saw, what really stood out.
Everybody, it doesn't usually happen, but when it does, we can always make an explosive play. When all the blocks get set up, all you got to do is find the hole and just hit it.
And it just seemed like you were just clicking at a high pace. What really stood out today?
The amount of effort everybody gave. Everybody was all in on the playoff win because the team has been talking a lot. So everybody took that really personal. So everybody was all in on trying to just beat them.
So maybe you could say some adversity, Liberty coming out and just onside kicking. They get the ball first. But how'd the team overall just sort of deal with that adversity and put it in the back of your minds to hold Liberty to no points throughout the course of this game?
Everybody gave all their effort. They didn't let it mess them up or get down or anything. Everybody just kept giving effort the entire game.
Gavin, what's a win like this mean? Home playoff win, you get another home playoff game next week.
Oh, it's a dream come true. I've always wanted to play a home playoff game. I played in the last 2, so it sucked going to Salem, but it's happy to be able to stay home now, and we don't got to go nowhere far.
Yeah, you mentioned you were part of the last 2 where you had to go on the road. Did it feel more comfortable, I would imagine, a playoff game, but here at home in front of your home fans?
Yes, sir, because now we get the home field advantage. We practice on the field every day, so everybody knows how it feels and the cuts you need. So everybody's just used to it.
So just the message moving forward after a big win like this in the first round of the playoffs.
Continue giving 110% effort. We can't let up. We got to keep going.
Gavin Williams joining me after the big win over the Liberty Eagles. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Carson Green, a member of the offensive line, plays some defense as well. It's great to have you on. Congratulations on the big win over Liberty in the first round of the playoffs. The team always mentions the offensive line. Just take me through what is working so well on that front line that's creating such explosive plays.
Well, the first thing that starts that everyone doesn't really take accountability is effort. Effort is the first thing we preached. Having 2 guys that haven't never played varsity, our center and our right tackle, it was crucial effort because they don't have the football experience and stuff. So I feel like effort is a big thing that kept us pushing and just learning plays and just learning football day in and day out. That's really what's gotten us to the next level.
What does it mean to you in the O-line knowing that you're able to create such explosive plays from Duncan, Will, Jamir, Jalen, and putting positive results on the scoreboard?
I think it's kind of expected. Those guys are amazing. From our third string wide receiver to our first string, all those guys are amazing. But it's a surprise to us for them to get big games and stuff and celebrate. It's always good to see them succeeding.
How did it feel just a home playoff game and coming out and shutting out an opponent that you played once before in the regular season, but this time in the playoffs?
It kind of came in as a goal for us. It wasn't really spoken about in the locker room, but I feel like everybody that's on the defense really had their mindset on having a shutout, no points or anything like that. I feel like that's what really took us to the next level.
What's just the message moving forward with another home playoff game come next week?
The message is that when you come to Handley, you're gonna play a physical and dominating football team.
And going to the physicality in, like you just said, of this football team, how huge is that this team is playing so physical and so aggressive this late into the season?
I feel like that's something we've been preaching since I've got to high school, since Coach Smith got here. Aggressiveness and just physicality. That's something we achieved my sophomore year. We've just been building on it ever since.
Carson, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Coach Jake Smith joining us after the big playoff win over Liberty. Coach, starting off, I'm not sure. Can you just take us through that onside kick, Liberty getting it back, but some adversity there. How'd your team handle that and eventually keeping Liberty off the board the entire game?
Yeah, I mean, the onside kick wasn't really a surprise. It was something we knew that they did. They've done it in numerous games. Our kid had his hands on the ball. He just didn't tuck it away early enough and got knocked out, and they recovered it. But, happy with the way the defense responded, and then correspondingly, happy with the way our offense responded after that.
You got so much defensive pressure in the first game against Liberty. You felt confident for doing that again, especially if you put them in passing situations.
I mean, we only brought 3 guys in pressure most of the night, so 3 on 5, and those guys were able to get pressure pretty regularly. Jalen on the edge and Carson working inside and Zaire. Those 3 guys did a great job all night.
Defensively, that drive where Liberty was trying to take it in for a score before halftime, how huge was it your defense was able to come up with a stop there? It seemed like the energy was built up pretty high after a big sack like that from your defense.
Yeah, you got to win the second quarter, and I thought we did a good job of that today. They had a drive, put it together, playing soft coverage, letting them eat some clock, and then, tighten it down on the goal line. I think our guys did a great job playing responsibility football and getting some pressure on the quarterback. It's always good if you can end the half on a sack, especially when they're in the red zone.
A lot of high school football is letting punts drop and roll. What do you like about, Gavin? Obviously had such a huge impact today with his returns.
Yeah, I mean, we had some issues in the return game early on this year, and so we've made some adjustments with that. He did an outstanding job tonight at taking those kicks out of the air and getting some positive yardage out of them.
Yeah, does it just have, good vision in general?
Yeah. I think the return team did a good job of getting some things blocked, but there's a lot of that he kind of did on his own, setting some things up, and so he has really good vision. He makes cuts and gets vertical right away.
Do you think his ability as a receiver helped him in terms of what he was able to do in the return game as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a receiver and a defensive back for us for a number of years, and he's returned punts for us for the last 2. He's a smart football player. He's been around a while, and we trust him in those situations.
Was there any specific reason, just game plan or anything? Duncan looked at Christian more. He got those 2 touchdowns. Is sort of spreading the ball out a little bit more, just from what I saw.
Yeah, they double covered Will for the whole game, and so it left Christian one-on-one, and so it was nice to be able to see him go up and make those plays.
And just got what you wanted as far as the offensive approach in general. Just that running game was just really clicking, and you guys were able to set up some good passes off of that as well.
Yeah. I mean, we want to establish a line of scrimmage in what we do, as a football program, and I think we're able to do that running the ball, and then off of that, it sets up a lot of play action and things of that nature for our receivers to go downfield and make some big plays.
How huge was your offensive line in this game?
Yeah, they've done a great job all year. Like I said, they continue to get better each week, and I think they pretty much owned the line of scrimmage today, which was good.
And just, what does it mean to, just win at home in the playoffs and have the opportunity to play another home game next week?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our region, geographically, it's probably covers the most distance of any region in the state. With GW Danville being on North Carolina border and James Wood being as far north as up on 522, we're talking 4.5 hour drive. So, I think being at home is a nice advantage of not having to take a 3-hour trip. I think last time I checked to get to JF was like 3 hours. So certainly, happy that we're able to play that here as opposed to going there.
And just, you mentioned to me at least that this was your first home playoff game since coming into this program. How huge is this, what are the emotions? I know it's team collective, but what's just the overall emotions when I tell you that?
Yeah, I mean, it's important and it's special. It's hard to win in general, and it's really hard to win in a playoff game. And so to be able to experience that here at home, is outstanding for our players, for our community, all the fans who attended the game. I think all those things are positive for our school moving forward.
And just last but not least, I know probably just the same game plan, I would imagine, going into next week, and just business as usual, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, Jefferson Forest is a good football program. They were good last year. They're good again this year. They do a lot of good things. So we'll have our hands full, but we'll get in the film room tomorrow. Try and get it all broken down, and then get that plan in with the kids on Monday and execute it on Saturday. It's the same thing, just 1 week at a time. We're just looking to play one more week of football.
A home playoff game for the Handley Judges, and they are right back at home next Saturday against Jefferson Forest. Coach Jake Smith, really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.